We're not here to diagnose, treat, or cure anything, regardless of what you might hear or think you are hearing from this presentation. So, but if you do want to take a screenshot of that, you should do that now. It's 7:45, so I guess we'll just go ahead and get started.
Yep. Sounds good.
So I am Maureen Henderson. For those of you that don't know me, I'm an integrative health practitioner. I'm also business partners with Dr. Angie, who is here with me tonight. And we, again, we want you to just kind of look at that disclaimer so that you understand that we are not here to diagnose, treat, or cure anything, but we do have some great things to share with you guys.
Ooh.
So basically, the weight loss, fat loss, industry is just absolutely crazy out there in the world. And we know that this is the season where everyone is stressing out about it. So the holidays, Thanksgiving is just a couple weeks away. And we have a biohack that we are so excited about. That's one of the most simple and affordable things that we have ever run across. And we see a ton of stuff. So if you guys are like us, you're always searching for information on that. And, it gets a little confusing. So we want to share something that's very simple with you tonight. In the past, if you've joined us, we've kind of talked about a couple different biohacks. One is more geared towards health, and this one is also geared towards health. There are definitely some health benefits to this hack as well. But one of the primary focuses for this is that it really helps with fat loss, insulin resistance, prediabetes or diabetes, heart disease, hormones. I mean, it covers a wide range of things, and it is really a simple hack. So if everybody could mute themselves, please, that would be great, because we're getting kind of some feedback there. So anyway, the big thing is always people don't know, do I need to lose weight to get healthy or get healthy to lose weight? Well, weight loss is always one of the top things that people are concerned about. And, I don't know about you gentlemen, but women especially, I know, will put their health to the back burner to lose weight. And in our opinion, you have to get healthy to lose weight. But this is literally a cheat that we're going to share with you guys tonight. So, family doctors usually tell people to lose weight to get healthy. We kind of feel like it's the other way around, but this biohack can help you with both. So even if people are, going to the doctor and they're like, well, yeah, you need to lose some weight, they don't really tell you how. And now it's even worse, because not only do they not tell you how, but they right away want to recommend pharmaceutical meds, or these shots that everyone's getting, the GLP-1s. And I'm not saying they're all bad. There may be some very small microdosing GLP-1s that can be very helpful, but I will tell you that there are also a lot of side effects that come with things like that. And most of them are going to be negative. So we personally do have a wellness to weight loss program that we offer through our med spas, our clinics, but you don't have to come to us to do that if that's not what you're ready for. If you're like, I just want to lose some weight, I just want to lose some fat, we're going to talk to you about that, because losing weight and losing fat, of course, are two different things as well. So we're going to kind of go over where you can get started and what we are so excited about.
All right. So if someone were to call you or text you and say, what if you could lose fat independent of diet and exercise? Well, if you're like myself, and then when I messaged Maureen, you would roll your eyes and say, yeah, sure, heard that before, or I wish. Those are the two things. When I start talking to people about this biohack, it's like, yeah, right. Okay, is that even possible? Or, oh, I wish. Well, guess what? Your wishes can come true, because we now have something that has been highly researched and studied since the early 1950s by the Japanese. And unfortunately, though, there was never the right technology that was able to extract this very isolated element out of a very, it's, let's just say it's a plant. I'm not going to give away all of the details here, but it is a plant that has been around literally since the beginning of time, give or take a few days. Let me, and so when we got this message and started diving into the some of the information that was sent to me about this, I was dumbfounded. Like I had no clue something like this existed. Well, and for good reason. It's hasn't existed very long as far as being able to use it. And so back in the 50s and through the decades, it was highly researched, it's been highly studied, and there's a lot of benefits to what they found with this single extract. And lean body mass, increasing that was one of the main things that they found. And one of the things that they found, it is an extract that is an activator, which means it turns on your body systems to do what it's supposed to do, especially when it comes to the metabolic jobs. And one of those jobs is to burn fat, to efficiently burn fat. Now, GLP-1s, like Maureen said, we dove into them. We gave it a kind of a good effort, and we were not happy with what the results that we were seeing, and even in low dosing, some of the side effects. And the thing that people need to know is these GLP-1s, they don't burn fat. They can actually increase your fat cells so that someday you might actually be in a worse situation because now you're going to have more fat cells to fill up. And so what we realized is this isolated element targets the I mean, read this. It's crazy. It targets the unhealthy fats around your organs, and that subcutaneous fat, the stuff you can squeeze, the stuff that you grab a hold of and you're just like, I want to get rid of this, that stuff, the stuff when you're running or walking or bending over to tie your shoe that gets in the way, that fat, that's the fat that we're going to talk about tonight. And to date, there's over 300,000 people worldwide who have experienced the benefits of the visceral fat loss. And as you can imagine, so much more, because when you have too much fat, that also creates more diseases. So let's talk about fat. Do you know your fat? Some people may not even know that they have two kinds of fat in their body. Let's talk about brown adipose fat. This is considered your healthy fat. When the brown fat is what is responsible for thermogenesis, it's the powerhouse of calorie burning. It produces heat. When you have brown adipose fat that isn't overwhelmed with white fat, it improves insulin sensitivity and your glucose metabolism. Let's talk diabetes, right? The brown adipose fat is actually one of the ways is activated. We're going to talk about this in a few minutes here. Is it's activated by cold exposure. You probably have heard of cold plunging. It also when you're stimulating the brown adipose fat, it has a protective effect of protecting the body against obesity by burning. And we're going to talk about how this works, but by burning that white adipose fat. And white adipose fat is the bad fat. That's that stuff we were talking about, the stuff you can squeeze that you don't like, the stuff that jiggles when you're running, the stuff that gets in your way when you're trying to tie your shoe, the stuff that hangs from the back of your butt that you don't like. And with brown adipose fat not being taken over by white fat, it also improves cardiovascular health. This is when this is all in check, metabolic syndrome is not going to exist in your body. But now that you know about your brown fat, the healthy fat, let's talk about the unhealthy fat. This is the stuff that is causing disease. This is the fat where excess toxins go. This is where, vaccines from our childhood store that we haven't been able to process or do anything with. This is the chemicals on our food, on our beauty products. These are the things that our body can't get rid of. Excess hormones even will store in our fat cells. It's where excess triglycerides go. This is why fat cells grow and grow and grow because we're constantly bombarded with these things, but our body's mechanism to burn white adipose fat is basically shut down because of all the things we're exposed to. It's also the culprit for the weight gain and obesity. It's not the brown fat that you're going to have too much of, it's the white fat. And when you have too much white fat, it's one of the big causes of the insulin resistance and diabetes cascade that we see. It secretes inflammatory molecules, these cytokines. So if you have excess weight, I guarantee you have excess inflammation. And the other thing that I don't have on this slide is because it just came to me, but when you have excess fat, white fat, that's where excess estrogen stores too. And that can get released into the body, and that's not always good either. So we want to have that white fat under control so we're not storing these excess hormones. And it also disrupts the hormones, that leptin, that hunger, that mechanism there. It helps regulate glucose. And when it comes to and next week, we're going to be talking about something else, but fatty liver, we study blood work in our office, and in our wellness to weight loss program, one of the things that we do is we run a full blood work panel, like everything. And fatty liver, looking at liver enzymes is just unbelievable with people who have excess, we're talking 30, 40, 50 pounds or more of excess fat on their body, always have some, higher liver enzymes, and, a higher risk for their CRP, their cardiovascular health is at more risk. And obviously there's going to be a slower metabolism because your body isn't burning, your body isn't doing what it needs to do. So the metabolism just slows down. Okay. So as I mentioned, for years, decades, actually, this one element has been researched pretty heavily, actually. And up until 2 years ago, it has not been capable of coming onto the market, because in the 50s, when this was first discovered, what they found is it would cost about with an M, $1 million to make 1 gallon of this element. To be able to mass produce it at that cost is just not feasible, right? And so now, as of July 1st of 2024, it has hit the market. So since July 1st, over 300,000 people are using this product. That's incredible, actually. It is plant-based. It is all natural. I mean, it literally has been around since the beginning of time. We just haven't been able to excrete this single isolated element. It's colorless, it's odorless, and I promise you, it is tasteless. There is no side effects. It is safe enough for even a 2-year-old to take. And God forbid somebody gives this to a 2-year-old. Don't give it to a 2-year-old. I'm just saying it's that safe. There is no known allergetics to this because of the actual isolate that they have. They've tested it. It has no histamine reaction in the body. So you could be allergic to the plant itself, but not be allergic to the element. There, like I said, no side effects with really any known medication, and it's patent pending. Not only there's like 2 different patents on it because of the technology to excrete this. So it's time to really think about burning fat smarter, not harder. It's not about going to the gym 5 times a week for an hour and a half a day, because some of you, even depending on your genetics, and we do genetic testing and we see it all the time. We see people come in, they're like, I work out all the time, I'm doing all the stuff. And it's like, okay, first of all, your genetics, you're not designed to work out like that. Like, you're causing more stress to your body and it's signaling you to store fat. And so there are in people's diets, right? They think they're doing all the right stuff. But this one single element product is derived from a plant-based. It specifically fires up that metabolic furnace, and it's going to target that unhealthy fat. Forget this, or to think of this as the fat burning solution that lasts up to 9 hours. Like, that's crazy. All right, so let's see, where are we here? Go ahead. Ooh.
No, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I know everybody's talking about these cold plunges, and there are a lot of benefits to it because, like Angie said, you want to create that thermogenesis to break up that fat so that it is easier to convert. But I can't do it. I don't have a thyroid, so my body can't regulate temperature. I think I would die if I got, just looking at this picture makes me hurt. I tried doing like where I'm in the shower, in the last minute of my shower, I flick it to the ice cold and I literally lose my breath, and I can't do it for not even 30 seconds. So
My hands are cold just looking at that. They feel like ice. They
and
just got
I
colder.
mean, some people love it. They buy those tubs. My son has one. I think Angie's kids have one,
Yeah.
but there's no way I can do it. And I always said I would do anything to be able to lose fat and, still be able to eat like a normal person, whatever that means. But, um, we are still proponents of eating properly and, eating healthy, but this is truly what I feel like is a miracle, because we were both very skeptical. We did not think this was possible, that you could find something that can create this effect. You're not shivering. It's not like you're sitting somewhere shivering, but literally from a few drops of something in a drink, you're going to create the same thermogenesis effect. So, like Angie said, every dose, well, I think she said nine, it's 9 to 9.5 hours of continuous fat burning. And it's basically a natural alternative to the GLP-1s, because that's kind of what GLP-1s do, only that also like just keeps you from wanting to eat, because you start getting some gastric issues and things. And like I said, some people are okay with it, but when you start getting into those higher doses, you're basically not eating. So you're just losing muscle, not fat. You're losing everything. Um,
Weight loss, right?
yeah. This does reduce inflammation, and anybody that's in the health and wellness field knows that inflammation is kind of the cause of most disease. So it reduces inflammation, and it definitely does reduce cravings. It's not going to make you not want to eat like a lot of GLP-1s do. You want to stay strong. You don't want to lose weight and be skinny. You want to be strong, but it's going to reduce cravings for bad things. And it definitely improves insulin sensitivity, which, that is huge for metabolic health. And you don't want your insulin spiking constantly throughout the day. And if this is going to give you 9 to 9.5 hours of fat burning, imagine what it's doing for your insulin sensitivity. That's where the help for diabetics and pre-diabetics comes in. What's also really exciting is it does improve cognitive function. So, like brain injuries, Down syndrome, ADD, ADHD, the biggie here for most people, I mean, those other things are huge, but a huge portion of the population struggles with anxiety. And when you have so much anxiety, it's really hard to not eat your feelings away. So, it helps with the cravings and the anxiety. Another thing that's huge is it improves gut health, and there's that huge gut brain connection now. So when you improve your gut, you improve your brain. When you can quiet the noise in your brain, you can reduce those anxious feelings as well. And again, it's safe and natural, and it's a plant extract. It has no contraindications whatsoever. So it's so simple, you guys. And literally, like Angie said, we were the biggest skeptics out there, because we work really hard to help people lose weight and fat. But along with weight loss, a lot of times comes the good lean muscle. So when we heard this, we're like, that's too good to be true. How can you literally just put something in a drink and reduce body fat? And so we put it to the test, and we actually used a free app. It's not anything to do with this product or the company or our business. It's just a free app. And the two of us actually did this. Now, right when we decided to do this, our world kind of turned upside down for both of us, because we both had an injury that kept us from exercising. And it was Angie's birthday month, and it was a lot of tailgating that month. October, it was a bad month, and we really put, or September to October, we just really put it to the test. And normally we both are very conscientious with our diet, and we preach diet all the time. And that's why I'm saying we're not condoning a bad diet, but life is life, and we all live life, and we want to enjoy our days. And We want to be able to enjoy our birthday and special events. And so it just seemed too good to be true. So we put it to the test. We did our body scans the beginning of September, and then things kind of fell apart. And I normally exercise daily. I know Angie hikes a lot and she's been exercising again, but during this month, neither one of us were able to. So we went from living a healthier lifestyle and exercising to like everything kind of just shut down. And so we're like, well, this is going to be bad. We're not going to share these with anybody. And we got our results back and we were shocked. Our body fat went down, our stomach, our waist, our hips, all the things that we want to reduce, reduced. Okay. And now without even exercising, I increased my biceps and my forearm. So I was just really excited. I couldn't even believe it. And this was literally in 1 month. And everyone tells us the sweet spot is month 3. So we can't wait to share you our results after month 3, but we don't have the final results on that yet. But this is pretty telling. This is actual, like I said, it's not our scan. It's not anything we created. It's literally a free app that we will share with anybody who's interested in trying this. So, like we said, a cold plunge, those ice baths, those will all burn about 400 calories an hour, creating that thermogenesis. And that is what's going to get rid of that squishy fat that hangs over your pants and makes you uncomfortable. It's like we eat and we got to unbuckle our pants and then we just start not feeling well. A lot of people literally start to physically feel ill because they get so much inflammation and they're so puffy and they just don't feel good. And now we can get the same effect with this biohack. And imagine that you can get that shivering effect without shivering and without jumping in a frozen lake or a cold plunge. And it's literally a snap, which Angie's going to show you here in a little bit, or you can also get drops. Mine are just a bottle of drops. I put a drop in my drink. This is a hydrate I'm drinking right now. You can put it in coffee, you can put it in water, you can put it in whatever you want. You can put it in a glass of wine. It's that simple. And we're all probably familiar with the GLP-1s or the Ozempic types of meds, but the side effects that so many people suffer from. Not everybody, but a lot of people do. I'm actually a moderator in a group of people that are struggling with some severe side effects with the GLP-1s, and I was asked if I could help moderate that group. And it's actually really frightening to hear some of the side effects that people do experience from that. And you don't have to have needles or shots or have a continuous glucose monitor on your arm or anything like that. Like, you literally are going to increase lean muscle and get rid of fat. You're going to be burning fat. And the fact that it's helping your brain reduce the 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 noise in your brain to want to eat when you're full of anxiety and stress, just reducing that is so calming and so helpful. And you can do this once a day, you can do it twice a day. It just depends on your goals.
So I'll show you what the other version of this is. They call it a snap, but so I just have, probably can't see it, but I just, whoops, I did that once and ruined my computer. Let me not do that again. So if you can see, it's just a clear liquid that comes out. And it's not even that much, but it's just enough. And it has no taste. And you don't want to let it sit in the mouth. You just want to gulp it down. So I'm going to just gulp mine down really quick. And here is one thing she did mention. I don't know if some of you heard wine. So you can add this to alcohol. And alcohol is a poison in the body. And it's because it's a bitter. Alcohol is bitter. And we have bitter receptors on our tongue and in our stomach. And so when we drink it, when we drink this down with our first, say, if you're having a cocktail, maybe it's Friday night, you might have couple that you save for your weekend warrior days, and you can just add it to your first cocktail of the night. And what it does is it actually changes the pathway mechanism of what alcohol does in the body. Because when you drink alcohol, it shuts down your digestion. It basically creates like a barrier in the body to say, nope, all we're going to do is focus on the alcohol and the damage that it could be doing. And with this, these bitter receptors that are in your tongue, you have the same ones in your stomach, and they correspond with each other, and it changes the pathway mechanism to actually signal that brown fat. Remember the brown fat? It signals that now to burn the white adipose fat for fuel to just get the body burning to get rid of the alcohol. It's pretty crazy and awesome. All right. So what would it be worth you to, not have to eat less, do the whole not eat less, exercise more, and do what all the experts say, just to lose some weight and then probably to gain it back again, because you haven't really changed any mechanism in your body. Because most of us don't want to drastically change everything for a long time, but what if you could be encouraged to clean up your diet a little bit? There might be days have a little bit more fun, but kind of that 80-20 rule. And you add just even one of these a day. Some may want to do two. I'm doing two every now and then. It depends on my day. Like today, just for y'all, I did it twice, but I'm going to have 9 hours, up to 9 hours of fat burning while I sleep. So that there's nothing wrong with that. But, just to think what would that be like to feel less guilt about having a couple fun nights out in a week or even in a month? For some people, Maureen never goes out and has a fun night. And now at least if she has a family event, or because she has a double MTHFR, her body doesn't want her to go out, and it doesn't like that. But when she has it reined in and she's doing some of our biohacks, she is doing really well, because I've seen her do really bad. So I keep an eye on her. And so honestly, it's not weight that you want to lose. We all, over the last couple decades, we've been so fixated on what the scale says. I mean, the scale is a great accountability partner. It kind of keeps you in check for the most part, especially if you're not doing, going to the gym or working out, but just your day to day, to see kind of how you are and to kind of look back and go, okay, what did I do the last couple days? Was I pretty good? Because your body might just be hanging on to some water because maybe you were exposed to more toxins or something. And so don't think about losing weight. Think more about losing fat. And when you lose fat, you might even actually gain weight, because we're dumping stuff into the body. And so we'll hang on to water to protect the body and kind of encapsulate toxins that are being released out of all these things that get released out of our fat cells, because that's where the crap goes. So if you're eating crap, it's going into your fat cells. Like, it's going to go there. That's where it's going to store excess hormones, excess toxins, excess everything. That's what the fat cells do. They protect us. And so just know that there is an easier way to get results. And our biohack number 2 is really, it is something that we were close to running out. Maureen's close to running out right now. And so I have to take her some tomorrow just in case. And you can get this amazing product for just right around $80, depending on how you buy it and stuff. It's a little higher. But for some people, the lowest you can get it'll be about $80 for 30 servings of this, but it's going to help you keep burning that white adipose fat while you sleep, while you work, while you play, while you sit, whatever you're doing, you can burn fat.
And you guys, I don't know about you, but once I hit 60, it got really hard. And it's not ever really been easy for me ever since I had my thyroid out to lose fat. But like Angie said, having a double MTHFR gene mutation, and if you don't know what that is, you can ask us about it, because we actually do genetic testing, and that's how I found out. But I mean, I'm that person that if I have one day of just eating, not maybe my normal, or a couple of alcoholic beverages, I will be sick for days. And I never understood that. So for 20 bucks a week, I mean, that's the, it, I'm not kidding you. I think it costs more than that just to go to a fast food restaurant and buy food for two people. So for 20 bucks a week, it's absolutely amazing. And then everybody always wants to know, well, how fast am I going to see results? Well, it depends on where you're starting from. I mean, like Angie just said, when you're dumping toxins, you're it's coming, or when you're dumping fat, it's dumping toxins. And so I thought, I kept saying, I don't know, I feel kind of a little puffy, and I feel like I'm gaining weight. And then we did our scans, and I was just amazed. And I even took my measurements myself before and then a month later, just so I could kind of double check this app, because I'm always, a skeptic. And so I have to say, out of most people that I meet, my status of my health has not been great, because, when you do turn 60, or when you're over 60, you have more risks of health issues anyway. I don't have a thyroid. I don't have parathyroids. I have this double mutation. I had some birth defects, and I struggle. So I've got all of these kind of health issues, insulin resistance, diabetes in my family, autoimmune thyroid. I just was maybe not the easiest to start out the gate, but within a couple of weeks, you just start to feel smaller. You feel tighter. But right at first, I didn't. I felt a little puffy. So that is those toxins being released in the water. Kind of water and fat wrap around toxins to protect your body. So when it finally realizes that it's safe, it's okay, this is a good thing, you can finally part with it. So, if you have less than 20 pounds to lose and no major health concerns, you might see results really fast. But if you do have some other concerns, then, it may take a little bit longer. But we've got some other things that we can share with you about that. In some of our previous talks, we got more into health biohack, which we can share with anybody. If you missed our previous talks, we're happy to talk to you about that as well. But you have to remember that, it didn't take a month or two to get in this situation, if you are overweight, or if you are in a health crisis. So you just have to be patient and think about, give it a try for 3 months. Your life could be completely different in 3 months. I mean, you don't want to quit before the magic happens. And we're told the magic really happens at month 3, where the weight just starts to fall off, or the fat just starts to fall off. And, you will lose weight as long as you're not, using this as an excuse to, like we kind of fell into having some issues the month that we started. But you don't want to use it as an excuse, like, oh, I'm going to buy this stuff and I'm going to eat everything I want over the holidays and I'm just going to keep going strong till January. I mean, you could get started now, and if you kind of watch it and you stay in check every week, it's going to get better and better, and your body's just going to start burning fat. And so you have to remember, it's not a scale weight loss, it's fat loss. You will lose some weight more than likely, as long as you kind of keep yourself in check. Like I said, don't use it as an excuse to go crazy. But imagine how nice it is, like for me, to be able to say, I am going to go out to dinner tonight with my husband, and I am going to maybe have a cocktail and not know that I'm going to be sick for days and just gain 5 pounds. We know it's water weight, we know it's inflammation. You don't gain 5 pounds from going out to dinner one night, but I would gain 5 scale pounds because of inflammation. So just imagine not having that. It's just such a wonderful sense of freedom. And
Mhm.
I get it. We're skeptical, but we would have never believed that there was something that you could literally just put in your drink it, and your body's going to be burning fat.
Yeah, it's it's just crazy. And we're so blessed to be able to hear of things as they come out. And that's why we love doing these and sharing them with you, because we also want to simplify this whole crazy whole health business, there are so many things. It's so confusing of where to start, and we're in the field. As a naturopath, I am in it. As Maureen is a integrative health coach, she's in it. We own a fat loss, we are in it. And we kind of just threw down the towel one day and said, we just need to simplify this whole weight loss journey, because in the end, it's when you're just working on weight loss, you're going to get back what you just lost. And it happens. Most people will say they lost the same 10, 15, 20, 30 pounds over and over and over again. And yo-yo dieting is also one of the worst things that you can do for your body, and especially insulin resistance, which is really the final step before you are in the diabetic cascade. And so we just really love that we have it, and I'm not kidding, Maureen, right? It had just all came to a head, like everything finally just fit together with what we needed to simplify all of this. And next week, we are very excited because we have something that we are adding to this. And during the holidays, even people that are of the best of intentions, they're a 90-10 kind of rule. When it comes to the holidays, that kind of goes out the window because it's social time on steroids. We have abundance of food, there's alcohol, there's stress, there's just the busyness, and there's just so much going on in the next 2 months of our lives that we are really excited we didn't have time tonight, and we've got to kind of fit it in next week, but we are going to talk about this next week. And this one, it's so inexpensive. Like we're talking around, I don't know, I think it's around $35 or something like that for
Yes.
either a 1 to 2 month supply, depending on how you use it. That is going to, oh my gosh, like it is going to be great. And if you are one who does like to indulge every once in a while and you get a little hungover, like I love red wine, but I don't drink red wine because I can have like a small little glass, but I get a headache and I am hungover and I mean, even if I'm not hungover, I feel hungover, even just with one glass of wine. And what we're going to share with you next week, oh my gosh, it'll probably help that. And I know it will because I speak from experience because I've been able to use this. And so we're super excited to share that with you guys. And it's a nice everyone is getting it. If anyone is on my family here, spoiler alert, you're going to get it in your basket, in your what do they call it? I got to get my Christmas hat on, my stocking. You're going to get it in your stocking. So I'm super excited to share that with you next week and invite people to this. We're happy to have more people on and simplify your health, and just message us if you want more information on even to learn more, because we have a lot of information on what we talked about tonight that we just didn't have time to cover. So just reach out, to whichever one of us, invited you on this call, and we'll get you more information so you can learn more and just start this holiday season ahead rather than behind. There is nothing worse than January coming around and you're 5, 10 pounds heavier. You feel like crap. And you know what? If you feel like crap, your energy is going to be like crap. So let's not do that to ourselves this year. Let's get on board and figure out what's right for you. And next week, we'll be back here, same time with the same link. And you can join us at 7:45 Central Time. Do you have any last words, Maureen?
No, I just wanted to tell you that Jackie just said, "Can you adopt me?" when you brought up the gift in the stockings. But seriously, you guys, let's start the new year out, like I said in my post about this. We don't want to start 2025 out with 25 extra pounds. So the drops are for sale now. You can get them at any time. You just need to let us know. We use different vendors in our med spas, and so don't just assume that you can get this from a specific place because we do use different vendors. So this is a special one that we threw in because when we found this, it's life
Yep.
changing, truly. And I don't want to be sick after January 1st. And if I indulge from Thanksgiving and Christmas to New Year's Day, I will start out sick as a dog.
And you'll
So
be 20
that's
pounds heavier.
20 pounds heavier, and that's not even an exaggeration. It happens
No.
to me. Even if I could just get stressed and I behave myself, just the stress alone can do that for me. So everything that we're talking about is on sale now. Just let us know that you're interested and we'll help you get set up. So 20 bucks a week, you guys, it is so worth it.
All
So
right.
good night. We'll see you next week.
All right. Good night.